I mean, dude, I'm being honest right now. 70 degrees right now in Miami, and I'm freezing. Okay. I have 2 feet of snow in Buffalo. It's 21 degrees here. It's 37 in Dallas. Fuck that. -3 in UK, 2 degrees in Germany. Yeah, guys, look, honestly, I feel like the people, like, if you were to have the opportunity, like during that time, you should get the fuck out of there. Like, why would you want to be there? Like, why would you want to go out and like wearing this shit every day? This shit is whack, honestly. And like every single day having to plow snow and every single day having to freeze your ass off. I don't know. I think it's a lot more comfortable to just go out in your shorts and you go to the beach any day. That's why I like Florida or anywhere that's like that. Or you just follow summer around the globe. Like right now, if you were to go to South Africa, it would be summer because that's just how it works. So I guess it's 16 in Miami. Whatever. All right, let's get started with today's class. All right, all right, all right. If you guys could see my screen, type 1. If you guys cannot, type 2. Beautiful. You know, earlier this morning, I was looking at the recordings and stuff, and I'm like, holy shit, bro. Like it's been a quick 30 days, bro. It's been a quick month, if you ask me. And I almost want to let that be like a message for you guys that once, this boot camp ends or whatever, for you guys to go out there and rush this shit. Like, let that be a message that, dude, we literally just went through 30 days of learning something new every single day. And literally, you didn't even feel it. I didn't even feel it. And I feel like it's only been 2 weeks at max. And I think it's the perfect example of letting things play out, not rushing it, because I'm sure a lot of you guys had the questions in the beginning and you were wanting to get everything done quick. And I can almost guarantee you that the questions got answered as the boot camp went on. And I was guarantee you guys wanted to understand it and you were frustrated and you didn't get it at the first time I taught it. But after you saw the recordings a couple of times, you started to get it and it started to make more sense. Everything is with time. And again, that goes back to the 3 things that I asked you guys in the beginning: patience, dedication, and time. Like all those 3 things are applied not only to just the boot camp itself when we're in it, but when we are literally leaving the boot camp and taking to do this by ourselves, whether you're doing this in your home, whether you're doing this at work, whether you're doing this in the car, whether you're doing this at the gym. The point is, wherever you're doing this, you are literally having those 3 foundations: patience, dedication, and time. Realizing that, you know what? If this trade does not play out this week, ah, next week we'll be there right around the corner. And then we go again and then we play it again. You need to have that mindset. Like we have literally just gone through 30 fucking days in a fucking heartbeat. And a lot of you guys, if you guys would have wanted to start trading on your own, 30 days would have gone by. And if you haven't made any money, you're probably like, I'm doing something wrong. Or why am I not making money yet? And it's because it's not your time yet. You're still learning and you're getting used to it. So I just want you to picture that you probably got into this bootcamp thinking that you would have made money by at this point, and you could have, but it's more of like what you learned in the last 30 days. And it's going to be the same thing when you are by yourself now in the next 30 days. The next 30 days are going to go by like this. And I need you to realize that it's not about making money right away in these next 30 days. It's about now learning how you do it on yourself in these next 30 days. And they're going to go by like this. So don't rush the process. Let time do its thing. that opportunities are going to be endless and they're going to always continue to pull up. Whether there's a lot in 1 week or there's none, over the next couple of weeks, you will have plenty of opportunities come. So just want to dig that mindset into you guys, because there's no point in rushing shit, because it literally will all get figured out with time. Whether it's 2 more weeks by yourself, whether it's 4 more weeks, 8 more weeks, it's gonna get figured out. So just wanted to drop that little reality check into you guys, right? So if all that makes sense, type of one. If not, type of two, man. Damn, bro, I needed that. I mean, yeah, like I get it, bro. Like a lot of you guys are in this journey by yourself, and you kind of like know the difference between the right and the wrong thing. But since you are the one that comes to your own conclusion of it, if it's right or wrong, sometimes you have that self-doubt. And that self-doubt can literally eat you the fuck up, because you're like, wait, like, am I making the right decision or not? And like, you could be making the right decision and it's a logical decision, but just because it's by yourself, literally you would doubt yourself. You don't believe in yourself because you're scared to lose and you're scared to then be the one that's wrong. But like, I'm literally here to let you guys know that if you make a logical decision, stick to it. You guys ever heard of your gut instinct and you stick to it? This is kind of the same thing, but not with your gut, but with logic and with an actual checklist and an actual probability. Gut feeling is just a gut feeling. Like you don't have any confluences in a gut feeling. Here you do. So you should be more confident in confluences than a gut feeling. And you should have the dedication to waiting for all these stuff to play out. So, I mean, yeah, there's just so much more to it that with time, like when we don't see each other for a week when this boot camp is done, and then we get on another call, that's where it's gonna be like, oh shit, let me go back and watch these recording. Oh shit, let me actually like write down exactly what he said. Let me actually do this, because you're gonna hit some walls and you're gonna know where to go find those parts in the boot camp on how to fix it, because again, it's your first time doing it alone. And you know, well, whatever. Updating on the market right now, we are having Euro AUD, haven't break and retest just yet. Looks like we're creating that head and shoulders. That's the higher low. This is the higher high. We have not broken it yet. This would be fantastic, because this will be the break of the right shoulder, left head, right shoulder. Perfect head and shoulders. And then we were going to obviously be waiting for the retest, the retest of the head and shoulders, retest of the EMA, retest of the area of interest. For now, we stay patient. CAD JPY has not created the pullback just yet. Market is really just fucking around. Technically, we should be bullish if you want to count this as the lower high. And we're just waiting for price to make it up here in order for us to be interested in selling. And then lastly, USD CHF, waiting for the right shoulder and the shift of structure. So it looks like we are on our way to create that right shoulder, on our way to the area of interest. And then exactly what I expected. The 4-hour goes bullish to get to that area. So you guys notice right now, the weekly is technically bullish. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, higher high. So weekly is bullish. Daily is bearish. Higher low, higher high, broke under, lower low. And then the 4-hour is technically bullish. So if you guys know the first rule of the book, or not the book, the first rule of the confluences, you should not be interested in executing this trade, simply because we do not have 2 time frames in sync. And we don't, so we cannot execute this trade as of right now. We have to wait for it to have the 4-hour shift bearish. So this right here will probably do something like this. Again, this is why we're waiting for the shift of structure. for the 4 hour to go from bullish to bearish, and then also the actual shift of structure to enter the trade. So let's really do a little retracement like this, and then here's where we get the shift. The 4 hour is bearish. Now we're interested to take this trade. Now we look for the shift of structure. If that makes sense, type 1. If not, type 2. Very quick, easy, simple. Very simple, perfect. Awesome. So that's it. That is your Monday morning update. That is your, thank you for that. Answered my question. I didn't even ask it. I mean, yeah, like I just said, you got to give time to things, you know? So this is literally the prime example of a perfect morning that you'll probably end up doing nothing today, because I don't think today this market will end up creating a higher low, higher high, and then shifting at the same time. I just think it's too much movement for the first day. Again, how do I know that? How can I tell? It's just an old timer thing in the market. It is just the way of how I understand how the market works. Okay, JPY. I don't see this thing retesting up here and then giving us the shift of structure and then having to sell today as well, because that would implement that this would have to fully create a wick up here and then have the shift of structure and then fully then push back down and have that wick. I don't see that happening in the next 6 hours that we have of sessions right now, 7 hours. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Again, how do I know this? Just an old timer thing. And then lastly, Euro AUD. It's just like it could probably break today, but it won't have the retest and then the shift of structure today. Like that'll make no sense, because what are we gonna do with the daily? The daily's just gonna have a push down, have a ginormous bearish candle, then have a ginormous push up. So now we just left a ginormous wick here. And then on this retest, what are you gonna do? Fill that same wick again? It's just not gonna happen. So again, these are all things that you're gonna only understand with time into the market. You know, it's something that I can't teach you. It's something that you're just aware of it, and then you actually understand it the more you show up and the more you practice this every single fucking day. And then lastly, crypto updates. So we got our market closes. So nice wick fill. I think this is going to easily make it to right here. Well, again, if we're using basic structure, we should just, again, right now, is this a, so let's say this is a area of interest, right? Is this a 1, 2, or 3? 1, 2, or 3? You guys should know exactly what this is. Amazing. I love it. The fact that I just say that and you guys know what it is perfect. Correct. So this is very clearly on the way. We're not at the higher high anymore, and we're not obviously at the area of interest. We're on the way. So for me to even be interested in this trade, technical wise, I would have to have it be at the area of interest. Now, obviously with crypto, it's a bit different because it's an investment, and here to here, it's going to retrace about another 15%. I have to ask myself, is it worth it? Is it not? Blah, 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 blah. XRP just does not give a shit about anything. Bitcoin, same thing. That's a weekly wick, daily time frame. I can see this going. I can see this going bearish. I can see this having a big time retracement. Big time retracement. Dogecoin, same. I mean, again, I can see this having a retracement technical wise. Like if I already see a Forex chart like this, if I already see a currency pair like this, oh yeah, dude, you could just wait for this and then do this. But again, crypto doesn't really work like that. So some basis of trading currencies does not apply to crypto. Just want to make that very clear. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The only other thing, hold on, let me. One second, guys. Let me see here my notes. No, I don't trade gold. I just don't like it. It's not part of my check. It's not part of my trades. So, I mean, at this point, like in the last boot camp that I did talk about other things that don't matter. Like I talked about like just shit against basically like other strategies that I just don't agree myself and I don't see. Basically, I was just like shooting shots, talking shit, and it was funny. It was fun, but like I don't want to do that because I feel like it just distracts you and takes away from what you know. If again, it's like a new way that I'm learning how to teach now, and like I just want to teach what works. And I don't want to teach you what doesn't work. I don't want you to have to think about like if you notice, there's something called a Fibonacci, right? I don't know if you guys know what that is. Maybe you guys, some of you guys do, some of you guys don't. Basically, a Fibonacci retracement is when price has a retracement to one of these points, it has a higher probability of it going up from each one of these points. I think it's total fucking bullshit. I don't think it's real. I fucking hate it. It's so subjective. You can put it a million different ways. And this is the shit that I would go ham on. And right now, you got other shit to do. You got time to put in and perfect what actually works. You don't have to even think about something that doesn't work and figure out how to make it make sense or make it not sense. Just it's better to just completely forget about it. I do have other books for you guys to read at this point, but like it's only depending on where you are in your journey. There's only a couple of books that I have read when it comes to trading. Obviously, the first one is going to be the Candlestick Bible. The Candlestick Bible is the first one that every single trader should read, whatever journey, whatever part of the journey you are in. Next, the other book that I would recommend is going to be what's this book called? Market Wizards. I don't know who is this by. Okay, yes, this book. So I recommend this book for somebody that is in probably 3 to 5 months into their journey, right? This is definitely going to be the book that's going to fit your level right there. And then lastly, and I would say the most important book and the book that made it for me is Trading in the Zone. But, but, but trading in the zone is not meant for everybody. Like you have to qualify to read this book. If you are a young trader, let's say you're 18 years old or you've only been trading for 2 months, you don't qualify to read this book. You have to have a certain level of experience. You have to have a certain level of damage to your psychology. You have to have a certain level of failure. You have to have you have to have a certain level of experience to just qualify to read this book. Because there like if you haven't gone through the journey of a trader, you won't understand the shit that he's gonna be talking about because you have not gone through it. He speaks to the like this book is scary fucking accurate. How I literally felt like this guy was talking to me. And every single person that I've spoken about says the same shit. Like that they feel like this is the book that spoke to them. And that is only for the people that have been doing this for some time. I'm very glad that I found this book like a year and a half into my journey. Without me being a year and a half into my journey, I feel like I would have not even finished the book. I don't know about an audiobook. I've never done that shit. I fucking read. Like, if we're gonna read a book, you read it. I can't listen to it personally myself. I don't even know how that works, an audiobook. I just read it. So this, and I have the hard copy somewhere here. I don't know where the hell it is, but like this is the book. This is like the final book. You start off with this just to read the candlesticks. Start off with this just so you kind of warm yourself up to learning how to actually stick to a strategy. And then lastly, it's fucking this. Trust me, this is going to be the book that's going to change it for you. But once only you have, I'd say like a minimum of like 8 months of consistently trading into the markets every single day. If you are a beginner trader, have the discipline, like buy the book and just leave it there on your counter. But have the discipline to not read it right now, because you'll probably hurt yourself by reading it, because you're gonna I can't even explain it. How many pages does it have? I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know, a couple hundred pages. Trust me, you're gonna read this shit without even realizing. So yeah, these are the other books that I would recommend. Now, aside from that, I can go on and on and on and on and on about just examples, but what I do want to do is take like all of today, like 40 minutes to just answer questions, literally. So I want to see how this question shit works here. Let me see. Where is it? Raise. No, there's not like a question tab. Because that I can't do the chat, guys. There's just no way. How does this even work, dude? Can you guys hear me? Yes. Okay. Loud and clear. So I want to take this time right now to clarify any potential questions anybody can have, truly. Now, again, I'm going to be ignoring 90% of the questions if they are on the recordings. And if you spam, I will be ignoring them as well. So if you have any genuine questions and you have some curious thoughts about it, let's talk about it. But don't get anxious. We have plenty of time. Like literally, we have the whole entire Zoom call that I want to dedicate to questions today. And then after all these questions, we're gonna have live examples that I can go and break down. I just don't want to repeat myself and not answer people's questions, because I could repeat myself for the next 4 days. I could, trust me. But that takes away the value that you would have here being part of the boot camp. Like I already could repeat myself when you go watch a recording. There's gonna be no difference. The only difference is that it's live and the other one's recorded. And you want to use the time up with me to actually get you to the next level. Can you talk to us? Can you walk us through a trade on Trade Lock? I don't use Trade Locker. I use MetaTrader. It's just a different platform. It's basically like using Chase Bank and Bank of America. Both do the same shit. They store your money. Alex, I have a question. What? I'm just gonna copy it. Wish this should work better. Alex, quick question. What do you exactly mean by showing up every day? What actions do we have to take in and day out? A decent question. So, whatever you do on Sunday swings, whether you do it with me live or you do it by yourself, executes on the ideas and on the things that you're going to be waiting for to execute a trade. If you're waiting for a trade to pull up to an area of interest and then have to shift the structure, if you're waiting for a trade to then give you your entry signal, if you're waiting for a trade to be on it, like just be in front of the computer and just watch. Just look at it. Look at it. If you work from the computer, work, go back in every 15 minutes and just look at it. Get familiar with the charts. So showing up every day is not just waiting for your alarm to get hit once we get there and then you get notified. Like you want to actually be able to follow the markets every single day and you're going to see patterns. Oh shit. On Wednesdays, there's just more movement than on a Monday. Why? Well, that's just because the way it works. And shit, CAD JPY really likes to move on Thursday and USD CHF on a Monday, and they don't really move the rest of the week. So if I'm going to take a trade and I have my entry, let me push for it to be at the beginning of the week versus these are all different things that the only way you're going to really understand it is if you just show up every single day. That you just have to show up and be passionate about this shit. If you're not passionate about this shit and you treat it like a hobby, well, it's gonna give you hobby-like results. Like if you go play golf and that shit's a hobby, you're gonna be ass versus compared to somebody that goes every single day and practices their swings. Yeah, you're gonna have a fun time, going swinging and a missing, but you're not gonna be a golf player and you're not gonna be able to compete and make money. Same thing here. You're not gonna be able to be a trader and pass a challenge and make money because you don't do it every single day. So you just got to be passionate about it and show up every single day. If we are a beginner, when do you suggest we start trading? I suggest you guys start trading as of could be the beginning of this week, beginning of next week. You guys can start off with the credit or the challenge that I'm going to be giving you guys because it's risk free on your end. But I would also say you have to put something at risk. I don't know. If I were to say if you're a beginner, I would say you could start sometime this week or next week when you're ready to execute it. Do not go demo. You have to go straight to live because if you do demo, you're gonna have a unrealized connection to the outcome that's gonna happen. And you don't want to have that so early into your trading. You want to feel if you win, and you want to feel if you lose quick, so you can get over that hurdle of having the psychological battles of a trader. Are we only doing questions today? Not really. Like we're questions, and then if there's chart examples, we could do chart examples. CAD JPY ready now. The fuck do you mean, dude? Isaac, who are you? I'm just reading through some of these questions. Is the USD CHF, would you wait for the retest of the neckline on the top left shoulder on both areas of interest? Mm, I don't understand what you're saying, but I think what you're saying is in USD CHF, would you wait for the retest of the neckline or take the top left shoulder as both are in the area of interest? I would wait for the 4 hour to shift bearish, whether it happens right now or it does some shit like this. I take the trade here because here I have 2 time frames in sync. That's all I need to take the trade and it being at an area of interest. Now, I think what you're asking is would I take it here or would I take it here? I would take it here because we have 2 time frames in sync. And I'm not going to add this head and shoulders pattern as a confluence because it's not a confirmed head and shoulders pattern at that very moment. Can you please explain? I'm just going to copy and paste this. Can you please explain why you select certain pairs and why some don't look good? It just goes back to the old timer thing. It's like when you were to take a friend to your house and your grandparents are there or your parents are there, and your parents out of nowhere are just like, I don't like this fucking kid. I don't like this person. I don't think this is a good person. You're like, dude, you just met him. How? Why? This is my friend. How can you not like him? You're not letting me live. Blah 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 blah. And you kind of look back at it now and you're like, well, they were right. And you still ask yourself, how the fuck did they know? Well, it's just old timer stuff that they just have the experience and they see a pattern in some people's characteristics that they've probably had experience with, and they see it in this new person. It's the same exact thing with the market. Like I see a characteristic on some pairs that I've seen in others that don't end up playing out, or it does not simply have a high probability trade, and I simply avoid it. I look for the ones that are the most effective and the ones that are going to be the cleanest. Now, that's something that is going to happen over time. as you're doing calls with me every single week. So don't get FOMO, don't get anxiety because you're not seeing the market exactly how I'm seeing it as fast as I'm seeing it. Because I know as soon as I get the pair and I break it down, you know what we're doing. But like you're just having trouble find the market to do all that too. And that's good. The fact that you know what to do when you have the market in front of you, that's a great start. Like let's say if I were to just pick one of these random pairs, right? And I'd be like, all right, go ahead, start. You would be able to start. You would be able to, okay, I know how to start on the weekly. And I know this weekly is bullish, higher high, higher low. I know that the daily is bearish. This is the lower high and this is the lower low. And I know that the 4 hour is bullish. This is the higher low. This is the higher high. Now we got to go start back off of the weekly with the area of interest, blah, 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 blah. Like you know what to do once you have the market in front of you. You just don't know which market to have in front of you. And that's a good problem to have because that leads me to understand that you get the strategy, you understand how to read the market, you're just missing time. And I can't do anything about that. Only you can. The more time you spend in the market, the faster you start to see it like me. That is literally all up to you. I've done everything I can in my power. Now, how much time you put into this is how much time you want to put into this. How much time do I recommend? The more, the better. Can we chat about leverage again? Do you think that 50 leverage? I don't know. I'm just going to copy and paste it. Can we chat about leverage again? Do you think 50 max leverage on a WANDA is enough? You use 300x. I use a 1 to 500. I use a 1 to 100. And I think I use a 1 to 50 as well. I have multiple different accounts. And I recommend that the max for beginners should be a 1 to 100. But if you want to go to a 1 to 300, sure. Again, all this leverage and all this does is give you more access to your money. It gives you more access to be able to risk more amounts of your money in one single trade. So do you want to risk more of your money? Yes or no? You do? Okay. Just when you lose it, don't fucking get mad. And do you want to not risk more of your money? Well, then just use less leverage. Basically, leverage, the way I like to see it, is like a banker that limits you. Like, oh, your max limit for today is 10% of your account. And if you want to be a degenerate, you fucking sit on the phone for 30 minutes and say, no, I want my max limit to be 50% of my account for today. The banker's going to make you go through the security check, make sure that you're all good, and be like, sir, are you sure you want this? You say, yes. Okay. There's something that the banker's going to do. It's your money. You do whatever you want with your money. But I recommend to you as a beginner, the max you should do is a 1 to 100. The higher that leverage, the more money you can use of it. It's basically it. Having lower leverage, if anything, helps because it forces you to not use those high limits. Question, Alex, as far as, I don't know, let me just, shit. Question, Alex, as far as candlestick rejection pin bars go, if we are looking for sells, the pin bar rejection needs to be in the direction of the sell in order to be valid. Go watch the recording, brother. Yo, this is funny. Yo, can I use a prop firm and withdraw even if I'm in New York? Very important for me. Please answer. Yeah, man. There's a shit ton of traders in New York that make money with prop firms. I don't know why that's such an important question, but I'm sure there's many out there doing this all over the world. Um, what is your top 3 pairs that you have traded since you were profitable? I don't have any top 3 pairs. Like I have memorable trades on certain pairs. Like I know I have a couple on USD JPY, a couple on AUD JPY, one actually just one on GBP CHF, one or two on GBP USD. Like I don't have a favorite pair. I just have memorable trades within these pairs. Um, okay. I don't know why this is a question, but sure. I would, yeah, hit an I here. I cut it off. Whatever. I would like to know what happens next now we have finished the first 30 days. Like I've said 100 fucking times. We're gonna enter 2 calls every single week, just talking about the market. And then after that, you guys will then join the Discord. You guys are gonna get access to the psychology series. You guys are, I mean, not the Discord. We're not in Discord anymore. You guys are gonna get access to the private community and everything that so on. Can you give us um can you explain more about the second retest in the daily time frame? Go watch the reporting. I want to know more about high probability. Go watch the reporting. Can you do one lesson all about how you analyze the market, brother? I think I've done too many of those at this point. Would you recommend back testing before Sunday swings for us as a beginner? I don't think anybody should ever back test at all. I only think you should live test. Would you recommend back testing before Sunday swings for us beginning? Like the only thing I would recommend for you guys to do is to watch all the Sunday swings that I've done up to this point. That's the only thing that I would recommend. But do not go back test it. If you notice, I haven't taught you how to go back test. So no. What do you think is the minimal amount of money you need in a trading account to actually make sense with all the lot size? There's no minimum amount. It's just whatever you're okay with risking. That's really it. Like to me, $100 means completely different to you. To me, $1,000 has a completely different value to you. So I cannot tell you what is the minimum because my minimum would maybe be a lot higher than somebody else's, or it would be a lot less than somebody else's. Like my minimum onto what would even make sense for me to risk is not the same to somebody else. So my minimum is not the right answer. It's what do you think is your minimum that will actually make sense for you? The lot size is at the end of the day, just how you calculate how you're gonna risk it. Okay. You have a long one. Hey Alex, I have a doubt. If the weekly is bearish, daily bullish, and 4 hour bullish, we mark higher low, higher high of daily and the 4 hour, but if during week the 4 hour turned to be bearish, so we take the trade as now 2 time frames are not in sync. Kindly answer this question as I was stuck here during Sunday swings before you started doing it. I mean, it's again self-explanatory. It's basically the same situation we're having right now. If it goes from being bullish to bearish or bearish to bullish, well, now you simply don't have 2 time frames in sync. You can't take the trade. You have to wait for it to shift. That's literally it. So to answer your question, during the week, the 4 hour turned out to be bearish. So we will take this trade as now 2 time frames in sync. Are they not in sync? They're not in sync, so you can't take it. I don't know how the fuck that makes any sense, but if they're not in sync, how are you gonna add it if it's in sync, you know? Uh dude, all these different questions regarding the broker, guys, you guys just have to go literally ask support. For the virtual ID, do we have to wait to get the physical ID to create an account for the same broker you have? I live in Philly. I I mean I have many different hard physical IDs, so it's different for me. Like I've never used this. I know a lot of people that have, but I think you could do it with the virtual one. Just upload it, try and see how it goes. How many times should you watch the videos? As many times you think is correct. Let me open up some new questions. Decent questions. Oh my God. Okay. Let's see this first question. All right, just have to turn off the chat real quick. Literally spammed. Okay. Austin. Let me copy this real quick. Hey, Alex. Let me just do this. Hey, Alex, I'm currently in Euro AUD. Here are my confluences. I was in this trade since the last week. Am I wrong for taking this trade? My confluences were there. It just, I don't see what you see. Please help me. Here are my confluences. My entry was after the 1 hour star formation near the head of the head and shoulders pattern. Area of interest, but weekly bearish, daily bearish, 20%. At the area of interest, you have the EMA, daily CSR, fuck, I don't know what the fuck this is. Daily. Let me see if I can figure this out. This guy's using his own fucking code language right now. CSR. Candlestick rejection. Candlestick rejection. Okay, so daily candlestick rejection. Okay, got it. Made me think there for a little bit, brother. Okay, see, I'm fucking figuring out the clues here. Daily candlestick rejection, round psychological level. Okay. Should the structure 15-minute star formation, whatever. Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah, dude, it's literally what I said last week. This is not a bad trade. Like this trade, and fuck, I feel like an idiot now for like reading all this and like having to answer it again. This is not a bad trade. This is a trade that Alex G would have taken 1,000 times 2 years ago. But now Alex G is a bit more selective. And basically, what you're asking me is, am I wrong for taking this trade? My confluence were there. I just don't see what you see. Please help me. Here are my confluences. So, no, you're not wrong for taking this trade. It's a great trade. I would have taken this trade all day, every day. But again, in the recording, I mentioned why I don't take this trade is because we have this strong level of support basically down here. So you would have to have, let's say you're taking the trade up here, you would have to have your 1 to 2 set up right here to get out quick, because this can easily have a rejection from here and head to the upside, as we've done once, twice, 3 times. And every single time we're here, we reject to the upside. Whenever we're under, we reject down. Right now, you're basically like you're jumping into a 3-foot pool. Can you make it work jumping into a 3-foot pool? Yeah. Like you could get really lucky and like not hit the floor if you jump at an angle enough. And like if you really like glide, like if you're going head first into a pool, yeah, you're fucked. You're like a 3-foot pool, you're done. But if you go in like a belly flop and at an angle, you can you can probably like not hit it at all. So again, it's just not a wrong trade. It's just an old timer thing. Go watch the recording. I break it down a bit more perfect. I like good afternoon, bro. Okay, good afternoon, bro. I have a quick question on a trade frequency and over trading. I am an advanced trader at the early stages of probability. When I take a big W on Monday or Tuesday, 1 to 6 RR, I have been restricting myself from taking any more trades. What did the young Alex G do when taking a big W early into the week, the rest of the week off, or look for more trades Wednesday and Friday? Great question, Ninja Naz. So the fact that you got a 1 to 6 Monday or Tuesday, I think it's absolutely fantastic. what I would do, Alex G, younger self, and still currently right now, is I try and target anywhere from 2 to 2.5% a week. You do 2% a week, 2.5% a week, you're getting 10% a month. Very fucking easy, very fucking simple, very stress-free. If I get my 1 to 2% on Tuesday, I'm done technically in the market, right? Because I hit my goal for the week. The next trade that presents itself simply has to be a fucking A plus setup. It has to be a beautiful trade. If not, I won't take it. I already hit my goal for the week. I definitely won't restrict, like, I won't be like, okay, like I'm blocking myself out from the market. I'm not looking at the market. I'm done. I will still be looking at the market, but I'm just going to be a lot more selective on that type of trade that I'm going to take. So that's what I did early, young Alex G. Now I get like my money and I just say I'm good, like at the point that I am now. But like the type of trading that I do now is just different. You know, it's revolved a lot more around like money rather than just percentage, because like it's just a lot of amount. Like, it's just so much money that I just don't want to have to constantly overexpose myself to like a lot of money. And it's obviously a percentage game thing at the same time. I'm sorry, guys. I have to answer this call 1 second. So yeah, I have the best scammer guys, bro. Look at this shit. Like I have the best guys. I just don't like using them, bro. Because like I'm scared of this, of like these like crypto scammer guys. I'm scared of them. I'm like, bro, like chill. But you guys, like my Instagram's back. You guys can go check it out. These guys are so good, dude. Like it's like kind of scary, bro. I don't like fucking with these guys, bro. Like these little like hackers are like the best guys. Look at this shit. It's back. I don't know. He gave me instructions now. I have to follow. That's so funny. I love these guys, bro. All right, hold on. Let me. I don't know. I have to follow these instructions. If you guys can give me 5 minutes. What the hell was he telling me to do? These little hackers, bro. This is a great question. I gotta keep going on this. We're gonna extend all this. Just need 5 minutes. All right, cool. I feel like an old man, bro. These kids are like 16, bro, and they're like spamming me, bro. They're like, do this now, do this, do this, do this. Yes, sir. Your order. What is it? Your order and your command is. Fuck, I don't even know. All right, cool. Let me do that. 5 minutes, guys. I'm sorry. But long story short, this is a great question. And I would basically just target the goal for the week. And once you get there, the next trade has to be a very, very, very high probability trade setup. If not, I would not execute it. You hit your goal for the week, you show up next week, and then you just do it again. What the hell do I do here? Oh my God. So many instructions. These kids look like professionals, man. It's crazy. So they have like a scheme going on where they'll basically get your account back and they'll extort you and they'll take it down again and be like, pay me again and I get it back again. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm just a chill guy, dude. Like, why are you doing this to me? Yeah, okay, I get the back now, pay me again, and I get the back again. It's like, wait, what do you mean? You already got it back. He's like, okay, I take it down and then I get the back again. It's like, no, no, no. Don't take it down again. Why are you gonna do that, bro? Pay me now or in 2 hours it's paid double. Okay, okay, I pay now. No, no issue, brother. Um, all right, cool. All right, we're back. All right, cool. I had all the pairs. All right, cool. All right, we're back. Sorry, guys. Little minor interruption. All right. I hope this answered your question. Next. I had all the pairs that you had during Sunday swings, but I also had GBP CAD in my watch list and a few others because the daily and the 4 hour was both bullish and it was at a very good area of interest on the daily time frame. Is there a specific reason that you did not make it part of your Sunday swing pairs? Is it because the weekly is so bearish that it made it offsetting, or is it more of the fact that the 4 hour and the daily already had such a big push that you wouldn't be looking for it to continue to the upside on this particular trade? So great question, Chris. And again, it just goes back to the same answer, which is going to be an old timer, which is literally going to be seeing the same thing over and over and over again. And there's just a bunch of different scenarios on why I won't be interested. But based off of what you have said, I obviously I don't know GBP CAD off the top of my head right now. I don't really want to go look at it, but like yes, like there can be stuff like that that just do it for me that simply don't make sense and makes me not want to take the trade. But you did nothing wrong. Like you can have both time frames in sync. You can have all three time frames in sync. But like a perfect example could be this, right? So I can literally have a trade that the weekly time frame is bullish. The daily time frame is also bullish as well. And then the 4 hour time frame is also bullish as well, right? So according to the strategy, you're supposed to be interested in this trade because you have all time frames bullish. But really, I would not be interested in this market because look how far this area of interest is. It is very far. And by the time the market gets here, it'll probably take 1 to 2 weeks. And even if this were to start pulling back into here, this is where the higher low is. So the daily won't go bearish because the 4 hour is going to go bearish to start making its way into that area of interest. So now we have the 4 hour bearish, but we won't even have the daily bearish because this is where the higher low is. So for it to make it all the way here, it's going to still be bullish. It's going to still be bullish. I can't even take any sell positions. If this were to be the higher low up here, okay, you know what? Then yeah, I would be a little bit more interested in it because if it does go bearish here, then I can take the sell and have 2 time frames in sync. But if it's like this, where literally the higher low is all the way down here, this is going to take 2-3 weeks to just make it here. Why the fuck am I even going to be looking at it? I am not interested in it at all. And I don't look at it. So it's not about having the time frames in sync. It's like about the trade actually just making sense at that very moment. Okay, perfect. Let's do all this. Next, do you occasionally, we just copy this as a big one as well. Do you occasionally take trades that deviate from your strategy, such as those without a clear area of interest and based solely on support and resistance? With experience, we sometimes develop a feel for those setups. Can you share how often or what percentage of your trades fall into this category and what is their win rate? Have you found these trades are profitable or do they reinforce you trusting into your established strategy? Great question. And do I occasionally take trades that deviate from my strategy? Fuck yeah. Like, dude, I do it all the time because I'm okay with it. And I see like it's again, it would be a bit unfair to explain this at this very moment, maybe at the end of the next 30-day boot camp. Like, when we start getting on these weekly calls every 2 weeks and then the normal Sunday swings with all the students, it would make more sense. But it's like you're gonna have to all the confluences, sometimes you're just gonna have to throw them out the window. Like literally, like not even look at them and then take a trade. So like if I tell you that right now, you're gonna be like, dude, what the fuck do you mean? Like, I just learned it. You're gonna tell me now I don't use it? And it's like, no, that's not how it works, right? Like there's a way, there's a time and a place for that. And I teach how to do that with time, but I can't do that right now. So do I end up doing this sometimes? Yes. And can you share how often and what percentage of these trades fall into this category? I say it's literally a 70-30. 70% follow the strategy, 30% don't. It's literally it. The win rate on it, I would say it's a 50-50, same thing. And have you found that these trades are profitable? Yeah, some of them are profitable, some of them are not. But they reinforce that sticking to my strategy is much better. I will tell you that for sure, Eddie. Since structure is structure, can I use this set and forget strategy on indices and stocks? You know, that's something that I am going to talk to my team sometime this week, next week, to see if in this upcoming year in 2025, like, we can, maybe do a challenge, turning $100 into $1 million in the stock market or some shit. I don't fucking know. Because I personally think that it could be done. I see structure, I see lines, I don't see anything other than that. So I would say yes, but I've never really tested it. I've tested it on crypto, it works, but I haven't tested it on stocks and stuff like that. So if you could try it for yourself, that'd be fantastic. But I can't really answer this because I haven't really done it myself. Hey Alex, when will you take the classes on flipping? So I'm building these classes out right now. So when will you take the classes on flipping? May I know more about counter trend trades? I'll explain a little bit more about that in those classes. For now, I would just rather have you perfect pro trend trades. So it's just the right thing to do. So I've answered this question in the past, but I'll answer it one more time. When you place a trade, you have multiple entries. Why don't you just have it all in one? It's for slippage. So if I were to put a 500 lot on a broker, they have to find that liquidity. Like they have to find 500 lots in that very second to liquidate my position. So it has to be like if I'm making 100,000, somebody on the other end has to be losing that in P&L. So when you have such a big lot size, the slippage and the time it takes to close a trade is a lot longer. So I divide those big lot sizes into the 90 lots because the 90 lots, they get executed quick. They can find the 90 lot very fast. So I'll close them like seconds after each other. And it just helps for the slippage. It helps for me to get closed out at the exact price. Because I've done it before with the bigger lot size, and I just end up having a lot of slippage. And again, slippage is when you're riding down the mountain and basically you fall. Hey Alex, I have a question. Hey Alex, I have a question. So every time I watch the live, then I rewatch the recording. I understand the fooling very clear. When I go to TradingView, I just get kind of lost. Is this okay? Not really. You shouldn't be getting lost. Like if you get it in the recording, you should get it on TradingView because you're looking at the same thing. Unless you're not looking at the same thing, unless your chart is set up differently, you have to make sure that it's set up exactly the same. Okay, Eduardo Martinez. At what point is it right, or when did you start withdrawing money from your account? Was it time, or did you have a number you wanted to reach first on the account before withdrawing? So my first real money in the market was a $28,000 withdrawal from FTMO. It was a big withdrawal that I had for me at the time, and it was my first time really actually touching the money. And when I touched the money is when I was actually like, oh shit, this is fucking real. Up to that point, I was obviously skeptical, as I think a lot of people would be, especially with the prop firms at that time. And once I wrote through that money, I basically saved some of it, spent some of it, paid off some debt, and then I think I got another payout, not for that much, and then I blew that account. But then I started putting money into my personal account probably like 8 months after that. And yeah, I did have a goal on what I wanted my account to be, and then I withdrew. I wasn't withdrawing like every single week or every single month. I personally don't believe that. I believe in setting a reserve. Like, all right, you know what? I have 5K to live off this month. Now, what I have in my trading account is for me to scale throughout the whole entire month. Like I already know how much money I set myself to spend for the month. What's in my account is for me to grow. And at the end of the month, whatever I grow, I withdraw, and then I set that buffer for that month. And then I scale throughout the next month, withdraw, set it for the next month. I never believe in the weekly withdrawals or shit like that at the beginning. It was mainly just like, okay, I have one big goal that I want to have for the week. And then I want to have one big goal for the next week. And then you grow it, you grow it, you grow it. At the end of the month, you do one withdrawal and you do it all over again. It looks a lot cleaner too. Like when you make money on a Monday and you withdraw on a Tuesday and then you deposit back in on a Wednesday and then you deposit again on a Friday. It's like, dude, make up your fucking mind. For me, it's just one big month, withdraw, do it again. Once it hits a certain amount, then is when I like to withdraw. Again, what $10,000 meant to me back then is probably completely different what it would mean to you right now. Maybe you need more, maybe you need less. It's literally all up to you. some dudes from your town is hating on you. I mean, hate comes from the bottom, bro. So it's part of the game. I guarantee you they don't have a Bugatti, right? I guarantee you that. And they don't have a big community. So I get it. I live in Florida. Can you talk about taxes? I cannot. I was literally gonna do a whole YouTube video on it, but like that, those are the last people you want to fuck with. Like the IRS wants their money, right? They want their money. And if there's one guy out there that's suggesting hundreds of thousands of people how to not give them their money, well, I'm the bad guy, right? And I don't want to be the bad guy with Uncle Sam. And I think everybody would understand, one, because of that, and two, because the audience is very broad. And I can't speak on a specific tax strategy or tax write offs and tax deductions that are applicable in Florida specifically, even more specifically in the US, when they will have no connection to somebody in Europe, somebody in Australia, somebody in Africa, somebody in the UK. So it's very hard for me to make a video around tax. One, because I'm not an accountant and I don't know every single tax law. Second, because I don't want to be that guy that is like, hey, I know how to, have a. I really don't. Like I don't have a tax glitch. Like I pay a lot of fucking money in taxes. I just have the basic write-offs, cars, office space, just the basic shit, office utilities, and because I don't know every single tax bracket around the world, like I don't know how it would work in different parts of the world. So I can't make a video specifically for one spot because then people would want it for another spot. And then I have no knowledge on that. And then I look like the bad guy. Is there anything, I mean, this is a rookie question, but I'll answer it. Is there anything to fasten up the learning curve? Yeah. Watch the recording 10 times. And you're gonna get it you're gonna get it faster. Just watch the recordings more times. That's it. I was gonna make a troll joke, but just watch the recordings. That's the fastest way. Or I don't know, take an Adderall and watch the recordings. Take a energy drink and watch the recordings. Do you think it's better to use, like, should I pick the funded account? Should I pick the credit? Dude, you do whatever you want, man. If you're a beginner, I think you should go probably the credit route. Because dude, it's so tricky, man. I mean, I would just have you do your own research, honestly. Do you want to take a challenge or do you want to start trading with real money right away? You're basically not putting at risk. Okay, hit the bottom. We have more questions. If you have any questions, bring them on. Alex, I have two questions. Okay, Tassi. Okay. Hey, Alex, I've got two questions. One, when the trade hits your 1 to 2 take profit and goes past that, how do you decide when you exit the trade? Go watch the recording. It's in the recording. Also, on the last class, you mentioned that you never close a trade below 1 to 2, but how do you know if the trade has more potential to go in the direction you want? So you don't close the trade immediately once it hits the 1 to 2. Same thing, go watch the recording. Thanks for your answer. And for the past 30 days, I believe it was a life changer. Appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much, Tasi. This was answered perfectly inside of the recordings. Just go watch the last 5 recordings. They're really good to refresh the strategy, and I answered this question. Thank you for being part of the bootcamp. What about holding trades longer? Go watch the recordings. For beginners, should we look at the pairs you give on Sunday swings for now, or you suggest to go look for others? I think I'm just gonna copy and paste this. Mazmen, I think it is. For beginners, should we look at the pairs we give on Sunday swings, or suggest to go look at others? Thank you, man. You're a legend. You're welcome, brother. So I definitely think you should just stick to the ones on Sunday swings for now, just simply because it's going to be a lot easier and you're not going to be as lost. After Sunday swings, after the boot camp, will the Sunday swings be recorded? Yes. Hey, Alex, I have a few questions for you, brother. When to get out of a trade at a take profit, do we wait for the ship structure on the specific time frame? For example, the 15-minute? Yes, go watch the recording. Also, do you use something like Traders Connect to sync your trades between accounts? So yeah, there's Traders. I mean, I've never heard of Traders Connect, but I know there's social trader tools. There's a couple different copy trading platforms, and the answer is no. I don't. I like manually hopping in and out. It takes longer, and sometimes it makes me think 4 times about executing the trade. It's like, all right, like, am I really gonna risk 100K on this right now? And like, I'm thinking of that as I have to manually switch through the accounts. And sometimes that saves me from losing a trade on a specific account. Sometimes it makes me avoid making money on a specific account. So I don't use this to hop between my accounts. I like doing it manually myself. The last thing I need is one of these fucking trading software tools to fuck up my trade and I blow my account. Fuck that. I want to be fully responsible for it. Also, is 2% risk not too high when trading with a prop firm because you can lose the account after getting a 5% 10 daily? Yeah, I think 2% is on the higher end for sure. I think you should just go like 1.5. I mean, even 2% is fine if you're taking just one trade a week. You basically have one trade that you can take every single week for the whole month. 2, 4, 6, 8. So I think 2% is fine if you only take one trade a week. If you take one trade a week with a 1 to 2 risk to reward, I think you'll be fine. But only one trade a week. But if not, you could just take 1% and you could take 2 trades a week, however you want to split it up. I think that's the most appropriate. What's up, Alex? Quick question. On Sunday swings, I went through it myself before. Well, the call, I saw a few pairs, 2, 3 times in the sync, but you didn't have it in your watch list. How would I know which pair is a good trade? For example, AD. Okay, I already answered this. Sorry, Brandon. Just watch the recording. Can you explain the difference between a Rick? Whoa. Can you explain the difference between a wick rejection and the body structure rejection? I think I already did. Watch the recording. When I have a higher time frame, okay, let me just copy all this, right? This is Matthias. When I have the higher time frame all in sync, I look for the lower time frames to find the entry. If the lower is all bearish and I'm at the area of interest, so the shift of structure in this case, would it be getting a lower low, then wait for the engulfing? All right. When I have the higher time frames all in sync, for example, all bearish, I look at the lower time frames and I find an entry. If the lower is as well bearish and I'm at the area of interest, so the shift of structure in this case will be at the lower low, then wait for the engulfing, retest the area of interest and sell, right? You know what's crazy, dude? You would have never been able to ask me this like 20 days ago. Isn't that crazy? Like the fact that you know what that is, right? In just 20 days, I think it's crazy. Like imagine reading that on day one. That would have literally sounded like Chinese, but you can like actually visually understand this. You can understand what it is to have all the time frames in sync. You can understand what it is to go look for the lower time frames to find the entry. And if the lower time frame is as well bearish and you're at the area of interest with the shift to structure, it's going to be at the lower low. Like you can already see where that is. Are you going to wait for the engulfing to retest the area of interest and then sell? The answer is you could enter at the lower low or you could wait for the retest. I've answered this in the recording many times. I love it, bro. The recordings. These recordings will be available forever, right? No, they expire tomorrow. Yes, Diego, they're available forever. Okay. Luis Pena. This guy is definitely Latin. Definitely Cuban. Good morning, Giant. Oh man. Quick question to retouch the topic of how to move the shifter structure from the 1 hour 30 50 minute. Can I get a more detailed explanation? The only thing I haven't understood yet. I have watched the recordings as well. Please and thank you. I would have to say you just have to go watch the recording again, bro. Because literally the last 5 recordings explain it perfectly, Lewis. You're probably my cousin or something, bro. My lost cousin, bro. But you gotta watch the recording, bro. Or you trade US 30. I don't like it. All right, this is Alexander Rios from Denver, Colorado. This guy put all that in his name. So now we know where to find him. Alexander, where you're in Colorado. This is a question more involving psychology. How do you maintain your trading journey if family members or even beloved ones doubt you or tell you that it's a scam? You know, I don't think there's anybody else that can tell you that this shit is not doable or not believable than a Cuban father. A dude that literally does not speak fucking English and barely knows how to use a phone. This guy literally the other day was here at my house, and this guy does not know how to send a picture on WhatsApp with the new update. He's just lost. So the idea of making money online is just not possible. It's just not real. And the best way on how to maintain your trading journey and not get out of it, it's just like, this is my journey, not theirs. This is my golden moment, not theirs. This is my passion, not theirs. This is my opportunity, not theirs. And the more you just make it about you, but for them at the end with the results, it helps you continue to go. Don't do it because they're believing you or not. Do it because you believe in yourself and you know what it's capable of. But then at the end of the day, do it for them. When you get the results, you show them what is possible. Be the one that's going to open their mindset and get them out of that traditional way of thinking. It's the best way to look at it, because somebody that just doesn't want to understand is not going to understand. Somebody that does not get it is not going to just get it. Camera changed to here because it was overheating. So don't ever think that because somebody doesn't believe in you that it's not the best thing for you. It's just part of the game. And I can tell you endless stories of my family believing me or not, but it's literally inevitable. Okay, 1 second, guys. Can you teach us how to scale up? Okay. Can you teach us how to scale up our accounts in the quickest way possible? I've been trading now for 18 months and they for 18 months now, and I need to see profitability soon before I give up. Give up, leave. Literally. Like get the fuck out of here, bro. There's no possible way you're gonna be successful if this is an option. If there is an out for you, you're not ready to do whatever it takes to make this your 100% income. You're 100% what you do every single day. If this is an option, then you're just not meant for this shit, bro. If 18 months is beating you up, bro, you are just simply not meant for this, bro. And I mean this in the most respectful way. I'm saving you time, bro. I'm literally just doing you a favor right now because it took me 30 months to make anything out of this. I was 2 whole years losing and then 6 months at break even. And there was never, ever a point where I thought of these words. It's either I did this or I did this. There is no other way out of it. If you have a remote thought that you're going to give up and that you need to do this as quickly as possible, you're just in the wrong fucking game, bro. Go to your local casino, go to your local Hard Rock, go to your local, I don't know, what are these things called? The Powerball. That's gonna be the quickest way you can possibly get possible. That's gonna be the quickest way you can possibly grow your account. But I can't teach you how to do that in trading if you have a devastated mindset or you are looking to do this quick. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to make somebody exponentially successful fast. I don't. I know how to teach a skill set that took me a long time to understand. And then once you get it, then you go and execute it, and it takes you the same amount of time. Now, some people have different results than others. You have people like Jay and Juice that just get it in 3 to 6 months. You have people like Mike that get it in 1 month. Or you have some students in there that are still struggling because they're not showing up every single day. They're not really giving their 100%. They're busy with work. They have kids, family, blah, 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 blah. So all I can say is if this is what you want, you're in the wrong place, bro. And I'm sorry that I cannot get you rich as quickly as possible and that you have this in your mindset. This is the worst thing that you can possibly have. Because that just makes you feel like you have a timer in your head, which is good, but a timer in your head to be successful, not a time in your head to the day you're gonna give up. That's basically I would just say time. You said you're gonna give us a 50K challenge. Yes, the 50K challenge, you guys can either pick the 50K challenge or the credit. They're both worth the same. Hey Alex, I'm currently using MT4. Does it make sense to move to MT5? I mean, bro, it's like if you have the iPhone 14 and then you go to the iPhone 15, does it make sense? Bro, if all you use it is to send text messages and it doesn't affect you, I wouldn't. Okay, here we have another big one from Timo. Let me just copy this. All right, Timo. Hey, first of all, I just want to give a thumbs up for the strategy. The aha moment really hit me. Two, I have almost 2 years of experience in leverage trading, starting with crypto and then switching to Forex, but I haven't been profitable until now. I've been taking it slower lately because until I joined the bootcamp, I was trading without a clear strategy. Before, I would just set and forget. But now I promise to take things slower and be more careful from the start. I've had some pretty tough losses, over $200,000. And believe me, I felt completely lost before the bootcamp. I've taken two, three different trading courses, and I even had a mentor who didn't offer much value. Not for like oh shit, I don't know if it was a question. I thought it was a question. I mean, I'm glad that I can help you out, Timo. Sorry for your 200K losses, bro. Hope that this set and forget strategy now, you had your aha moment. You're ready to give it 100%. I don't know how much you guys enjoy this or if you guys hate these questions, if it's like stabbing you guys or it's like pulling your hair, but I'm trying to literally like satisfy every single person, like answer every single possible question. I'm trying to keep my promise as much as I can. How does the economic calendar affect your trading? Go watch the recording. Can you briefly tell us a story on how you started? Oh man, I could say a story forever, but I'd rather, give a little bit more value to something else. Okay, Eddie, with another question. All right, Eddie. You built your strategy in the first 2.5 years of your journey. You redefined it or developed it further since then. Over the years, have you noticed changes in the market and did you adapt to those changes? Or is your strategy robust enough to work consistently? Have you conducted any back testing? For example, do situations get worked out? Okay, great. You built your strategy 2.5 years into your journey. Have you found or have you refined or developed further since then? Yes, I have definitely redefined and I have further developed it since then over the years. And you guys are getting the latest and most updated version of it. Have you noticed changes in the market and how do you adapt to those changes? I feel like the market is the same. I just have more experience on how to read these things in the market. I don't think the market has changed at all. I think it's exactly the same. I just think that I'm aware of now. Perfect example, the whatever's going on right now with Euro AUD. Like this has been here all along, but like I won't take this trade now, even though it does meet my confluences because we'd be selling right into the support level. So I'm just more aware of shit rather than before. So I think that's the best way to answer this question. And how did you adapt to those changes? Or is your strategy robust enough to work consistently? It's definitely robust enough to work consistently. It's just more of like the hand selecting of those high probability trades. And have you conducted any back testing, for example, in situations? I don't back test, brother. I only live test. Great question, Eddie. I love the curiosity inside of it. Um, a lot of these questions, like they're just literally all the same thing in just different ways. My job is 9 to 5:30. Should I take a different job and take more time for trading? You're the man, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you, David Burgos. So I definitely think that having a job does influence how much you can obviously dedicate to the market. And the market is like the gym. Like you have to dedicate time to have results. You can't go to the gym and put in the 2 hours, hit every machine, hit your cardio. You're not gonna have as much result as somebody that does. So I do think that your job does affect it. Should I take a different job? Well, I don't know how important this job is to you. I don't know how easy it is for you to change this job. I don't know how much you have saved up. Like there's so many different variables that I have no idea and I'm just absolutely blind to. What I would say is that if you have the opportunity to dedicate more time to trading when the market is moving, that just makes more sense. For example, London session in New York, if you have the opportunity to change your job to a different one, where now you work the afternoons and you're able to see the markets at nighttime and in the morning, I think you're gonna get a lot more activity in those times, and you're gonna be able to apply the strategy more effectively and with a lot more with a lot more precision because you're trading when you're supposed to be trading and you're working when you're supposed to be working. You're keeping both separate, not trying to make them both work at the same time. That's where a lot of people sometimes get frustrated because right when they're about to enter a trade at 8:39 in the morning, they're in the middle of traffic on the way to work. They're walking in, they're clocking in, and they like sometimes they take a trade just because they're in the middle of doing all that, and then they tend to take in the wrong trade, or sometimes they miss trades because they're doing all that and then they can't focus because they're in the middle of working and then they can't take the trade. So obviously I get it. It does affect it. Trust me, it used to happen to me as well. Luckily, Duncan wasn't really like dude, I can just do what I ran that shit, dude. I ran that shit like if I was the owner of that place, bro. I mean, you're young, right? You could do pretty much whatever you want. I had like I worked with older people in the mornings. So I would either be in the back or in the front, and I'm on my phone. I didn't give a shit. Like I could be taking your order, and I'd be on my phone, like actively looking. So I don't think that you should immediately do it. I think you should obviously get a passion for trading, see like that you need to be available at a certain time, and if you could easily make that work, I would do it. Is there one thing or anything? Let me just copy. Is there one thing or anything that you can remember you were doing wrong and then you had the aha moment and stopped doing it? And what was that thing? I talked about it into the boot camp. It was the Asian dude. The dude was Korean or something. I don't know. But that guy scammed me. And that's when I had my aha moment. Go watch the recording. I don't know which one it is, but just go watch the recording. James, keep going, brother. James P. You're almost there, bro. Okay, literally, I just made it to the fucking bottom. Holy shit, bro. There's so many questions. Jesus. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, this camera ran out of battery. Now we're over here. So today was more of like a Q&A thing. I want to kind of continue to do these basically into the end of the boot camp because honestly, like I could repeat myself. I really could just keep saying the same shit. But I think it makes the most amount of sense for you guys to actually be able to like get these questions out of your system. And when you guys join the community, you guys aren't accumulated with all these questions and bombard the chat, which you guys probably still will. It's not a big deal. But I'm just trying to like dig it in more into you guys and make this more personalized than just repeating the same thing and it getting a bit redundant and getting a bit boring. There's a lot of curious questions in here that it would be very difficult for me to answer inside of a text message. I would have to have a very long message and I would much rather just speak it and you guys be able to hear it and visually, get it live. So I like it. And I think it makes more sense for you guys. And when people like this end up asking it inside of the chat, and I'll be like, the best way I can answer this is go watch this recording and everything is going to be there. So yeah, today was great Q&A. Tomorrow we have the 4 p.m. class, which is basically going to be Q&A as well, maybe a little bit more technical. Come with more like challenge me, right? Challenge me. Obviously, don't think of a fucking like impossible scenario. Like, Alex, what if an alien abducts your dog and when it leaves, it flicks you off and it leaves a message where it says, buy your USD? Do I buy it or do I sell it? Well, look, brother, if they abduct your dog, dude, you have a big problem here. Why did they abduct your dog and not your girlfriend? Right? Like you gotta like really like start asking those kind of questions. Don't ask me what the hell do you do at that point? At that point, you don't give a shit about the market, right? You gotta figure out who the hell abducted your dog and why did they not take a crap, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys like today's class, put a W. If not, put an L in the chat. Quote of the day is going to be quote of the day is going to be I have the best hackers. That's literally the quote of the day. I have the best hackers. IG back. What should I do, bro? To go to I don't know. I want to do something funny. Like the first story coming back, I wanted to be hilarious. Was this legal for you to come back on Instagram? Yeah, do you just talk to a support rep and they get you back? Kissing my girlfriend. Yo, that's actually dude. Like, I literally have this saved right here, bro. Bro, this is fucking hilarious, dude. Like, this is not AI, guys. This is like real. Look at this. Let me bring this here. I don't want to put this in the recording, dude.